Hi. For part 2 of making a paper mache creature, you're going to need newspaper and masking tape. Now, if you decide that you don't want to deal with the wire armature, I'm going to show you how to get started. The limitation you're going to have is that if you're not using the wire armature to make the legs, you should avoid making long legs because you're going to have trouble with it later. So if you're going to just use newspaper and not make a wire armature, stick to simpler shapes, things that are chubbier, have short stubby legs, short stubby ears, simpler shapes. Here's an example of one that is a little bit simpler. Even legs this long, though, it couldn't hurt, and a tail like that couldn't hurt to have an armature. But all you need to do to get started is start balling up your newspaper. Like that. And ball up the newspaper and start making shapes. And so here I've got a shape, and wherever you need, you don't need to wrap it completely with tape, but wherever you need bits of masking tape to hold it together, you can give it bits of masking tape to start holding it together. And create, like I said, sort of a chubby shape. And if you do want legs on it, I would make stubby legs just by balling up newspaper, sticking it on, and using your tape to stick that leg on. And it's as simple as that. And you might need a little more tape, depending. Just remember, you don't have to go crazy with the tape. So that's how to get started if you're not using a wire armature. But if you are using the wire armature, let's say you've made this, what you need to do is take the newspaper and just start wrapping it around your shapes. So here I go, starting with the head, and you can always add more as you go, and you don't have to fully have designed it and decided exactly what it's going to look like. A lot of times when you're sculpting something, the puppet itself kind of tells you what it wants to look like as you go, and we'll see that again when we get to the step of paper mache. But you just start covering it with newspaper, and you can always add more. So just start wrapping it around your wire shapes and wrapping it around the legs, and you can see I'm just kind of wrapping it with the newspaper to start to thicken up those shapes. And using a little bit of tape when necessary, but again, you don't need to completely cover it with tape. Just use tape when you need. Some places you'll need more, some places less. So you see I'm beginning to cover the head and the legs, and you just keep doing it. Just keep wrapping it and wrapping it around that. And at first, it'll be skinny, and if you want it fatter, you'll just keep adding more and piling on more, balling up more newspaper, until you get a shape that looks something like this. So here was my wire armature. This one had wire in there for the ears too, so that the ears don't end up breaking. It had wire in the tail and the legs, and I've wrapped it all, and this is my basic shape. When we get to the paper mache step, I can add more detail. Like, I'm not going to worry right now about really defining the eyes and the mouth. Later, when we start doing paper mache, we can start getting more detailed shapes in the face. But right now, he's just got these little horns, the ears, the tail, and the legs. It's as simple as that. And again, if I wanted him to be chubbier, I would just add more newspaper and tape it on the belly and there you have it. Okay, next time we'll start making paper mache paste.